This is a HeadGum podcast.
This is no longer a table to eat food at. Like this table came with the apartment.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sure it was used for dinners or lunches or brunch or...
You don't think the people before you lived here had a podcast?
It is Los Angeles. I'm sure they did.
Yeah, chances are. Right?
Hey, guys. Welcome to Dynamic Banter.
Hey, everyone.
I
guess that's it for us for this week.
So tune in next time when
we got something to talk about.
This time we don't have anything to talk about.
Yeah. We'll try to figure it out the whole time, though.
The thing is like every time we don't have anything to talk about.
I tried to. I was at home and I was trying to write some stuff down, and I wrote one thing down, but then I was like, well, that kind of goes against everything.
Yeah, I mean, like, I appreciate you writing things down because
Thank you so much.
It's a good failsafe. It's a great failsafe, but
yeah.
But like we've almost never needed it.
No. Which is good.
But it's always good to get to like the 20-minute, 30-minute mark on the podcast, and then like we have that like
Well,
so Mike, you're a stand-up comedian.
yeah.
And then that's your cue to go, I got some notes.
Hey, I wrote something down. Let's talk about a different thing. I wrote something down.
Dude, the other day I did something that you probably shouldn't do.
Okay. Any person or me?
Well, the thing is like I'm kind of I have like a little too much empathy for my own good. And I think I need to like do you think Zoya will train me?
I have less empathy.
Not that she doesn't have not that she doesn't have a lot of empathy. It's just that she's smart.
Yeah.
With her usage of empathy, like she uses it with family and friends, and
yeah.
Like
Zoya has just as much empathy for anyone as anyone. She's a very caring, loving person.
Yeah,
she's also very
caring.
Protective of like her personal time.
Yeah, but she can turn off empathy, which I can't do.
Yeah, I experienced that the other day firsthand. Yeah, she could do that real quick. Yeah, take back everything else I said.
A time code for when we
cut that out.
Trim that out.
Thank you so much.
Um,
thank you so much.
Edit
point.
Somewhere Zoya's knuckles, somewhere her like fist tightened.
She's cutting someone's hair right now, and she just stabbed the scissors into the neck. Like, oh, I'm sorry. I don't really feel bad about it for some reason.
You know how some people's ears get warm or they itch when someone's talking about them? When you mention the terrifying potential Zoya altercation, her hand turns to fist.
Yeah, she just completely turned whatever was in her hand to dust.
Yeah, like you ever seen those movies where like the it's like an otherworldly
like a monkey's paw.
or like a vampire. I'm talking about like vampires, or like when someone's like someone's super strong and it shows them clench their fist.
Yeah,
and it's so tight you see like a drop of blood come out.
Yeah, that happens. And then she licks it real quick to not seem weird to the public.
Yeah, no one notices.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Edit point.
Edit. Remember when we used to do that all the time?
But we really needed it. And you needed a spike in the levels, so you could just do it visually. It makes perfect sense.
I feel like edit point was our first bit.
You think so?
Our first podcast bit.
Probably. On Clover Times?
Yeah, because think about Clover Times.
Yeah. I think of it fondly. Are we going to do more stuff?
Yeah. There's
we have to.
Some stuff has popped up. But I don't know. Do you guys, listeners who enjoy the podcast, who enjoy Cloverfields, do you guys prefer that like an episode pops up like every time there's like a little bit of news, or would you rather we have like a meaty? Because I mean, like I feel like because there has been more news, but it's like such little bits that I feel like it would just be dynamic banter with a little bit of Cloverfield news.
Yeah, that's not great. You can't do like an hour's worth of a podcast over a little bit of information.
You know what? Then here's the decision. The decision is that we, even though, and I do appreciate you guys tweeting at us that there's like new Cloverfield news or whatever.
Yeah.
And please keep doing that. But
because that's the way we find out a lot of the time.
Yeah, it really is, as busy as we are, unfortunately. But I think what we'll do now is we'll just wait till there's like enough info, and then we'll like do a Cloverfield episode.
That sounds good. I'd be excited to do it.
So anyway, I did something really, I need to learn how to like turn my empathy off sometimes.
Okay.
And or just make better decisions.
I can't wait to hear the story. I feel like I've been waiting for this story for a long time now.
Yeah, it's interesting. So I met up with Joe and Elliot the other night. Name drop. And Rob Fee wasn't there. And they had some drinks, and these details aren't important. We were hanging out kind of late, and it was like midnight.
Which one of them do you hate? No, I'm just
Which
kidding.
one do you think I hate?
Go on. I know. Which one do I hate? No, just go on with your story.
I don't hate either of them.
No, neither of us hate either.
No.
Just always seem like a good person.
Pete. It is funny too, like before I get into the story, how like how much more frequently we needed edit points in the beginning because we didn't know how to talk on a podcast.
Yeah. And you would think.
And
after all this time.
Yeah, well now we like honestly I appreciate it because I edit these down. But for dynamic banter there's very minimal editing. It's just like we're pretty good about keeping it linear.
Yeah. Try to fill the pause. This is getting even further.
Well, I don't even mess with the pauses.
Right, but I'm saying like now, I feel like that's the thing you kind of have to be aware of when you're doing a podcast.
Like no pauses.
No pauses.
Yeah.
But now we're so aware of that it's funny.
Dude,
to us, not to the listeners.
Yeah.
But if they're going to like check their phone to see if it's still on, that's become my favorite thing in the world.
I think the pauses are a good like psychological, hey, listen to me.
Hey, listen.
Hey, listen now.
Listen to nothing first, then listen to me quickly.
It's really because it's easy to just zone out while listening to a podcast.
Yeah, especially a podcast that's talking about itself so frequently.
With no direction or aim.
What did you do that was a bad person thing?
And most of the time, the titles don't correlate to what the...
I miss when the titles were one word.
Anyway, but yeah, I appreciate how we don't have to really do many edit points. It's interesting. It's just an observation of how we've grown as podcasters. Mike.
Sure. Yeah.
You've been doing it for a while though.
Yeah, I should be better.
This is my first. Cloverfields was my first podcast.
Well, you did great. What about the source fed stuff?
Well, it's not really my podcast, and I didn't do every episode or anything.
Yeah.
I've been on like Ear Biscuits and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Name drop.
I wasn't sure that you were gonna
name it. Actually, I want to talk about Ear Biscuits later. Can you remind me?
Yeah.
Okay. So. Oh no.
Oh no, that was bad.
Wait. What was? No. What was it? That's a fine. Leave it. That's a fine.
I don't want Ring.
Mike, no. She's a smart dog. She's not gonna eat a pen cat.
She's a smarter dog than I am.
Yeah, she ain't gonna eat that pen cat.
I would 100% put that in my mouth.
Me too, man. But she won't because the thing about dogs is some of them won't put something in their mouth that they know is not food.
It's crazy how they can be that smart. That's scary smart.
Okay, so I'm like, when are they gonna take over the world?
Why doesn't she talk like us?
I'm so impressed by the dogs that can skateboard.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we were leaving this bar, Joe, Elliot, and I. And Joe and Elliot got into a car, and I continued walking to my car. And the boys had driven off, and I started walking towards my BB Boo Fiat. And I open up my Fiat door, my driver's door to get in.
Gallons and gallons of water come out.
Popcorn, filled with popcorn. I was like, you guys.
Wow.
And Joe and Elliot pop out of the bushes, and they're like, gotcha.
Waka waka.
Oh, man, so much popcorn.
Anyway.
So I open up my driver's door, and then I hear from across the street, hey, excuse me, hey, can you give me a ride to the airport?
What?
It was a woman in her, like, early 30s, I'd venture to guess.
Uh-huh.
And she had a suitcase and a backpack, and she was standing outside of this bar.
It was a hitchhiker. It was a new hitchhiker.
You know, we're not there yet.
Did she have her thumb
There was
out
no thumb.
like so?
She had no thumbs.
Did she have her leg like this?
She had no legs.
Okay. She had no legs.
Or thumbs.
Or thumbs.
Which was
What a
weird.
tragic... Okay. Empathy meter starting to kick in a
You
little
can
bit.
grab with your palm. You don't need a thumb.
Some.
I stood there in silence for maybe too long,
Yeah.
just looking at her.
Yeah, because that's you know, you didn't have a lift sticker on your
Yeah, and
chest.
that's the thing, like, probably any normal person would be like, you know what, I'm sorry it's late, I gotta get home.
Yeah.
But I, like, seriously, like, considered it in my head. Like, I thought in my head, like, this sounds like a nice thing to do for this person.
Uh-huh.
And then my next thought was, well, and then out loud I said, Burbank Airport? And she's like, yes. And I was like, oh, all right. Well, that's like 7 minutes.
Did you say yes or did you say sure? Because that's very
Well,
important.
listen, Mike, if she
I
had
just want
said,
to make sure.
yeah, sure. I don't think I would have been like, you know what? I'm gonna go.
Here's what I've learned about you so far. You got pretty good instincts.
Okay, good. Thank you.
And you would never put something that
So
wasn't food in your mouth.
I passed the test then.
Yeah.
You were testing me.
I was testing you.
I was like, yeah, you know what? That's like 7 minutes away from here. Yeah, come on, let's go.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, oh my God, thank you. And she like rushes over and she gets into the car and she puts her suitcase in and her backpack. And then I go, she goes, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And it's like midnight 30 and it's a little late. It's scaries.
It was about 30 after midnight.
30 after midnight. And it's dark, you know, at that time. Scary.
Yeah.
Streets are bare. Not very many people out. Not very many witnesses.
Cold.
Scared.
Scarce.
Scars.
Scars.
So anyway, so I'm like, man, I feel like a Uber right now. As a joke, I was like, I totally feel like an Uber. Must be what it feels like to be an Uber driver. And she's like, oh. And I was like, all right. And here we go. We're going on a drive now. And I was like, so, what's your story? What's going on? What's the deal?
I thought you were going to be like, so Uber drivers get paid.
Maybe that's why she didn't laugh, because she
Yeah.
was like, if I acknowledge that this is what it's like being in an
Yeah.
Uber,
Yeah.
then I'm going to have to give
What
this
if she
guy
was
money.
like, you're more like somebody who picked up a hitchhiker?
Well, here's the thing. I said, what's your deal? What's the story? And she said, well, you know, I'm from Seattle. I live in Seattle, and I fly to LA every once in a while, and my uncle put me up in this hotel over here, but apparently he didn't put me up for this last night, and I'm flying back to Seattle in the morning. She's like, so I was in this hotel, and they, like, called security, and it got real weird, and she's like, and the cops were, like, watching me from, like, across the street, and she's like, so I'm so happy you picked me up, because the cops were, like, totally watching me. and I was like, oh no.
Oh no.
I'm going to feel what it's like to be stabbed tonight.
Or you're going to feel what it's like for the police to think that you have a prostitute tonight.
I'm going to feel what it's like.
And then you're going to be the new Eddie Murphy, and you're going to be like, I was just giving her a ride. That's how that shit happens. Eddie Murphy is innocent.
Yeah. But everyone's ready to jump on Eddie Murphy.
Well, not anymore, I don't think.
Well, that's true. I think for me, it would have been like, well, obviously...
Obviously, Steve had a prostitute.
Like if for anyone listening to this, like, joke answers aside.
Yeah.
Like, we get it. You guys are funny. If you read on Tube Filter... that
End of the day,
you read on Tube Filter, Steve Zaragoza caught in car with prostitute... Would you be like, would your first thought be like, nah?
Or
would it be like, ah, shit?
Gay got him.
Would it be like, would it be like, there it is? Because every YouTuber has that dark, dumb bullshit, and this one's Steve's.
Yeah.
Prostitutes.
Oh, here's Steve's thing.
I also feel like being caught with prostitutes isn't a big deal, really, right? Like nowadays.
I think it depends where you are. If you're in a situation where it's
like if I'm a family man. Oh, okay. Well, even if it's illegal.
No, legal.
Because I feel like. Let me think of a. Okay, well,
if you were legally caught with a prostitute, it's no different than being legally caught with like a yogurt salesman. It's the same.
Where can you illegally be caught with a yogurt salesman?
Where
at a yogurt trade show?
You know they don't sell yogurt in Phoenix. New Mexico.
That's like buying shrimp in Nevada.
Yeah, you can't.
Like,
you shouldn't. You shouldn't. The Wyoming shrimp.
Let's say this. What if Johnny Depp? What if you found out tomorrow? Or like breaking news, TMZ.
Somebody who doesn't need a prostitute.
Yeah.
Don't do Johnny Depp.
That's what I'm saying. Well, okay, fine. Let's say the guy from The Big Bang Theory, Sheldon.
Any of them.
That guy.
Yeah,
The one you're thinking of.
The gay guy?
Yeah. Let's say he got caught with a prostitute.
Man or woman prostitute, because it's varying degrees of.
Let's say man.
Okay,
let's say man.
Great.
Is it anything? Is anyone gonna do anything with that information?
I don't know.
I don't think it means anything.
What about if it was like a $60,000 prostitute? See, it's different.
Oh my God! What is a $60,000 prostitute?
They probably exist.
Is that someone who will clean up your home too?
Those people, well, they might. They should
change the oil on your car.
Those are the people that the Washington people get.
Oh, the
you know when you're so
politicians,
powerful, yeah,
politicians,
yeah. When you're so powerful that you can't feel anything unless like a very expensive prostitute steps on your balls or something like that.
Yeah, like the only way to reach orgasm as a rich, powerful person is to pay a 19-year-old boy to shoot you in the foot with a gun.
Yeah, that's another example. But I'm saying, because that exists...
19 is legal, by the way.
Because that exists, if, let's say you were single, right?
Okay.
If a single Steve Zaragoza got a hoo-hoo in the back of a...
Which one's that?
Oh, we're on a podcast. A hand thing.
Okay, hand thing.
In the back of a massage parlor.
Hand grip.
I'd be like, oh, all right. I'm not going to not hang out with you because of that.
Yeah. What is that? Does that make me a pervert or something, though? I don't think that makes me a pervert.
I don't know.
It just means I'm gave it a shot. I'd probably talk about it on the podcast.
There's so many worse things. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'd be like, so I got a hand job from a prostitute. Let's talk about it.
I paid for it. You paid to see Czechoslovakian women.
Yeah.
You paid to see a holographic Czechoslovakian woman
in my living room.
Close to your face.
Get incredibly too close, uncomfortably too close.
You got pink eye from a virtual Czechoslovakian woman.
Which is weird because the doctors don't believe me, but where else did the pink eye come from? Let it ring. So anyway, I got real scared after she kept talking about the police.
Yeah, how many knives?
And I was like, I'm gonna feel a hot knife enter my side.
Oh God.
I thought the worst. I really did. I was like, I thought about like I'm gonna need to crash my car like in the movies into a tree.
Oh shit! Well, good thinking.
Right? Like, and that'll disorient.
Yeah,
like,
but you do that after you get stabbed. What do you do?
Well, you do that when you feel stabbing is imminent.
Yeah.
Imminent Stabbing is my favorite Who album.
All right.
So I was like, oh, okay, well, no problem. What do you do? And she's like,
I stab people.
I'm a knife salesman.
I'm a knife stabber. What?
A knife stabber. Do you stab knives? Well, you know, when we're testing out these knives, you got to see what they're resistant to.
And sometimes the only thing in the room is another knife.
Did you know that 3 out of 5 knives can stab through other knives?
Anyway, what was your question?
What if by magic you could actually stab a knife through the knife blade of another knife?
That's the only thing that stabs it.
Yeah.
So what does she do?
So she's a accountant. And so I was like, okay, that's a safe profession.
The stabbing accountant?
And I was like, man, I am so bad at stabbing accountant. An accountant with knives!
For a knife factory!
An accountant for a stabbing firm!
I keep track of how many people I stabbed! I'm just kidding. It's a mattress company.
So when she says that, that's when I crash the car into a tree. Yeah,
that's a hard turn.
Yeah, because I feel like knives at the ready for knife salesman or knife company. Because like the reveal is knife company.
It's a thrusting reveal.
Yeah, you just have to be ready for that reveal.
So she's an accountant.
Yeah, and I was like, oh man, I'm so bad at numbers. Like I wouldn't even know where to begin. Like that's crazy. Like I have much respect.
That's when she jerks the wheel because the conversation is so boring.
Well, she's an accountant.
Oh, you're bad at numbers. Hey, can I
listen? She's an accountant. Talking about numbers and math is like us talking about comedy. Like like you know, that's
it's hard for me to switch shoes. But
switch shoes for a second.
You're right.
What are you, a size 9?
No.
10.5.
No.
12.
No.
13.
No.
You're a 9.5.
No.
Size 10.
No.
You're a size 9.5.
No. Best bit we've done on the podcast by far. That's our Abbott and Costello. They're gonna be doing that for years.
It's called 9.5.
It's called 9.5. No.
9.5. No. Like if it's spelled out on a poster,
yeah,
it does. 9.5 doesn't get fully spelled out. It's 9.5. No.
I want people to steal that bit forever.
Yeah,
and do it in a bunch of different variations.
I'm into it. I'm
11.
But I'm on the same page with you.
Yeah.
Size 11. You're size 11.
Yes.
Okay.
So you are you're driving an accountant.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm not good at math or whatever, and then we just start talking, and she's like, what do you do? And I was like, you know what, I couldn't tell you what I do. I don't know. I guess I'm a actor, comedian, talent person, host, and
this comes a day after you were in a trailer for an acting thing?
No, this was like several days before the trailer.
Oh, because I was gonna say that day it's real easy to figure out.
Yeah. Well, had it been the next day, I'd be like, well, I'm an actor.
Yeah, I'm an actor. I've been in a trailer.
I had a trailer. There's some pictures of me in my own trailer.
You know what? Let me show you these while I'm driving.
It's the first time I've been in a trailer. Because look how many pictures I have.
I took all the cereal. That's in the back if you'd like.
My dad's coming. He's parking his hog.
He's driving as fast as he can.
So God, this is the most frustrating story ever, isn't it?
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's
no, it's my fault. And so she was like, "Oh, anything I would have seen you in?" And I was like, "Not unless you're a 19-year-old boy that shoots politicians in the foot with a gun."
Yeah.
Probably not. And she was like, "Oh, okay." That's cool. And then she's like, where do you live?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, I live in Sherman Oaks. Um,
Let's just go there.
and she said, "Oh, is that close?" Throw goblin. She said, "Is that close?" And I was like, no, it's not very close. And she's like, "Oh, okay." She's like, "I'm just gonna probably just stay the night in the airport.
Huh.
Because I have my flight in the morning, so I'm just gonna sleep in the airport probably."
Do you have like a bed? In your apartment, you have a bed?
I've owned a bed.
Uh-huh.
I currently don't have one because I'm in between beds.
Do you have a couch or
It's a
couple couch?
new place. I don't have a couch. I'm sorry.
Because I could.
You could.
I'm
So
sure
am
the
I
airport
dropping you
has
off
a
at Delta,
couch,
or
but-
are you American, or?
Well,
So, strange series of questions to ask after. It's just a lot of strange questions
good
to
for
ask.
her for going for it. Jesus.
She went for it, man.
Dude, you both were in a horrible situation. Both of you.
Yeah.
Because she chose you,
Yeah.
of all people?
Yeah.
That means you are so outly unintimidating.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's good.
Or she's like definitely a scam artist
Yeah.
and was like, this guy looks like a sucker.
She goes from airport to airport.
Yeah, I'm just going to steal whatever this guy has in his house.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to make him fall in love.
I'm going to make him fall in love. Or I'm going to sucker him in with the I'm going to stay the night at the old airport routine.
Yeah.
Wish I had a nice bed to sleep in.
Old Burbank or whichever one is closer.
Yeah. Whatever. LAX, JFK, DVD, DVG.
DVG Airport.
DVG Airport.
DVG International Airport.
Took a red eye out of DVG the other day.
Come get lit at DVG International Airport.
So I was like starting to get kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah.
At this point, and so I was like, okay, when we were entering the airport parking lot, the place where the area where you drop people off for the departing flights, and I was like, okay, which one am I dropping you off at here? And she's like,
Just whichever one looks most comfortable.
whichever one looks most like a bed.
Your bed. Any bed.
Whichever one says Sherman Oaks.
So which one?
She said Delta. Uh-huh. And I thought, good choice. Not top tier, but definitely not. It's not low tier.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, here it is. Here's Delta. And then so we parked in front of the Delta thing, and I was like, cool. And I'm not even kidding. This isn't jokes.
Yeah.
She sat in the seat and didn't get out of the car for like a uncomfortable beat. And then
if you were to put a number on it?
I'd say like from like full stop to okay. Like, you go, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
It was probably 6 seconds between okay
Six
and
Mississippis?
6 Mississippis.
That's an eternity.
Until she finally said, so do you want my number or something? And I instantly said, haha, no, I'm good. This is when the theme song to the podcast comes back in.
Anyway, we'll see you guys next
No,
week.
and then it goes to our commercial. We do our ads, and then it
that's
comes
good.
back.
That's great.
That's a fun idea.
Edit point.
Huh?
Dude, what a fucking awesome story. How charming were you driving?
How charming?
Yeah.
Was I driving?
You had to be driving in it. What else were you Was it your mutual love of numbers? It had to be how charming you were driving.
Dude, I don't know. I mean, it was interesting because
You stop at any cute lights?
Did you comment on how great of a person you were at any point?
Yeah. Did you talk about the moon at all during the drive?
And how when it meets your eye like a pizza pie, that's love.
That's a love.
That's one love.
That's one love.
When you look at the moon and it looks like a pizza, that's love. That's what that song's saying. Seriously, that's what that song is saying.
Yeah, you're 100%
When in your peripheral you see the moon, then you look, that is love.
Even if no one's around, look at the moon and you found a pizza. Is this love? What is really love? Is that a pizza? It's really the moon. I'm Italian.
I must be drunk. Yes, I'm drunk if I think that the moon is a pizza.
Oh no!
So,
I'm
dude,
that you're alive.
Thank you, man. But so seriously, no. This is not a heightened story for the podcast.
This is not a good story.
I instantly called Elliot like the second I dropped her off because I was like, dude, I have to tell somebody. Elliot was the only person I knew was definitely awake because I just saw him. Joe was already asleep. He's a dad. The second he walked through the door, he hit the ground.
They have a mattress there for him to fall on.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, she said, so do you want my number? And I said, no, I'm good.
Not even, I have a girlfriend,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, just like I laughed at her.
Oh, no.
It felt bad.
Yeah. That's what you should have said next.
And then, I should have said, I feel bad. You're right. And then she was like, she had her phone out and she was like, okay. And then she like got her suitcase and her backpack and she got out of the car. Oh, no. And then I was like,
6, 4, never mind.
I was like, have a good flight. Do you want a LaCroix?
No.
I swear to God. I was so.
Are you sponsored as a human being? Do they just mic you up all the time, give you $75 every time you mention LaCroix? Is that the new?
I had a box of LaCroix. My sister-in-law gave me this box of LaCroix. They ordered way too much LaCroix.
Does she turn around at this point?
The woman that was coming out of the car?
Yeah.
She said,
just go.
She's
You know what?
She said, this doesn't need to go longer. I think we're done.
Anyway.
No, she was like, no. Thank you, though. Thank you for the ride. Very sweet. And
Thank you. LaCroix doesn't fix a broken heart.
And she closed the door, and that was it.
Oh, boy.
And she left, and we left each other's lives, and that was it.
You are now a Craigslist missed connection.
LaCroix boy.
LaCroix, yeah.
Is the title
Where's
of that
my
one.
LaBoy?
Where's my LaBoy? That's so good. And then I was thinking, when I was driving away, the first thing I thought was, LaCroix, what are you, an idiot?
What are you, a dumb
She's
idiot?
got to go through the security checkpoint. They're not going to let her go through with a LaCroix.
She's going to down a LaCroix.
She's going to down a LaCroix. She's going to be burping. You can't down a LaCroix. What are you, nuts? That carbonation's up there.
You basically gave her a fizzy lifting drink. Holy shit, man.
Yeah,
so
dude.
weird. I'm
Yeah.
so happy that you're both alive.
Thanks, man.
I'm happy that she now has a movie to write because she's heartbroken. That
She's going to write a song that's going to be a hit.
Yeah, man. What if that was Michelle Branch? What if you left Michelle Branch at the airport?
Look, the thing is like a million things went into my head in 0.1 seconds.
You're writing the song right now.
And like the first thing was like nervous. I'm good. Mm-hmm. Like I don't do that. Like I'm not the kind of, like, most people, well, this is unfair to say, but a lot of people would predetermine the mean thing to say.
The mean thing?
Well, like if you're not into it. Like if you're the type of person that just like,
why does it have to be a mean thing if you're not
because
into it?
I'm just saying, like, a lot of people will be like, what are you, nuts? Like there's people that are assholes that'll just instantly say something like, haha, nah, I'm good.
I think you're wrong about that.
I don't think it.
Okay, that's perfectly fine.
I'm just thinking of like gross dudes at bars, or like gross dudes at like that are bro dudes.
Yeah.
Like that's the response. Like I'm just saying, I'm trying to to associate what I said with the predetermined version of that.
I don't think there are just two versions of that.
No,
and
no,
I
no.
think most of them
I think there are two versions
nervous.
of that.
Okay, there are two versions, but there's also 15,000 versions.
Sure.
Which means there are definitely
But
two
I'm just
versions.
thinking of how, like, personally, I felt like that was a mean thing to say.
Okay.
But I was stuck, and I didn't know what else to do, and I felt bad, and I've never been in a situation like that before.
Yeah, yeah.
So I feel like the guy that thought about saying it and was like, no way, not you.
Okay.
Get out of my car.
I feel
But
like...
in reality, it was like, no, thank you.
Right.
Like, it was, no, thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a scared boy.
Right. I think that in your mind, you just feel bad for doing that.
I felt bad, yeah.
So you're identifying with the mean thing, which is the furthest away from what you did a nervous boy
I just
thing.
felt bad. I was a nervous boy.
Yeah,
that's
she
that.
hates you, but everyone on the podcast
She can
thinks you're
hate
fine.
me. It's fine.
She's listening right now.
I forgot her name already, too, so.
Oh, no. Now you'll never be able to look her up on AIM. It's just her name plus her favorite 3 letters plus her favorite 3 numbers. Plus a Leo star. Plus a smiley.
Yeah, so that happened to me. I was real scared, and I felt bad. I told Elliot the story, and he laughed a lot at my response to her.
Dude, well, he's the guy, man.
Yeah, and he was like, "Did that feel good, man?" He's like, "Did it feel good to shut someone down, to shoot someone down, like be able to shoot someone down?"
Yeah, you did that.
And I was like, "No, it didn't feel good." But like it would if I was the type of guy that was turning people down.
Left and right. Man.
Yeah. Because then I'd just be like, whatever. No, they're not in the bedpost.
Yeah, maybe it's your that's you now.
That's love.
Hollywood
That's
changed
a moon
you.
in the sky.
Had some pizza.
You know what, man? Me and Bree,
Yeah.
it's like a moon in the sky.
You and Bree.
It's like a pizza.
I've seen you two together. You two are like a moon. I've seen it.
You and Zoya have a moon that'll always be.
A pizza.
That will be a pizza.
For now and forever. Always. Amen.
All right. Well, I want to talk a little bit about some. Let's talk a little bit about a sponsor that I'm actually super stoked that we have, Mike.
I'm sorry.
I'm actually, like, I feel like we've made it.
Okay.
Like, I really do. I feel like we've made it now that we have...
Are we rich?
No.
Can I now move my wife into a house?
No.
Okay. Keep going.
You know what I read, man? I read the other day that if
We
you
will
wanna-
never get a house.
I read that Mike Falzone will never get a house. No, I read it was a Keemstar article.
I read that no matter how hard Mike Falzone works, unless he follows the YouTube trends, he's never gonna get a house.
I read that in Los Angeles, if you want to buy a house, you need to make a $100,000 a year salary.
For every year or for 1 year?
If you did that in 1 year, you can buy a house, no matter how much money you made the next year. And that's our sponsor. Our sponsor is badrealestateadvice.com.
And people who don't know any better.
Today's sponsor is, I'm very stoked. It's MeUndies.
Yeah.
I am stoked because I listened to How Did This Get Made?
Nice.
And one of their sponsors is MeUndies, and I love How Did This Get Made? And I've always wanted to get in on the MeUndies train.
Yeah.
And I actually just wanted to buy MeUndies myself, but I have not done it. But now we have an opportunity to get in on the MeUndies thing.
You know, the most exciting part of the MeUndies train is the caboose.
Let me tell you guys something. Pride starts on the inside. So why don't you celebrate yourself with MeUndies?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
They're soft.
MeUndies makes the ultimate feel-good undies with free shipping right to your door, satisfaction guaranteed.
These things are designed in LA. We're talking every pair of MeUndies is made with a micro modal. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Okay?
Looks like micromodal.
Micromodal, which is a fabric 3 times softer than cotton. And you know how soft cotton is. It's soft.
Hey, MeUndies, you want to make me a full suit? made of micromodal.
And if I'm remembering correctly, it helps with stenchiness. Let's go into it. Their soft, stretchy undies come in every changing array of colors and patterns.
Love it.
Okay, I think they're heat activated.
Love it.
No matter what your style, they've got something for you.
And you know why?
Why is that?
That's because MeUndies believes in people feeling good and being themselves, which is why MeUndies is putting their money where their underwear is during Pride Month.
That's this month.
For every pair of special edition Celebrate undies you buy during Pride. Now, Celebrate is the style of undies on the website. For every pair of the special edition Celebrate undies you buy during Pride, MeUndies is going to donate $1 to the Los Angeles LGBT Center.
I love it. Good causes, good things happening.
I love it.
And as if you needed another reason to try MeUndies, they're offering a 20% off your first pair and satisfaction guaranteed. That means, I don't know if I like these, but guess what? They just guaranteed it. Oops. Now you got nothing to do on Saturday. That you'll love them or your money back, I said.
Or your monkey back.
Your monkey back. Just visit our URL, MeUndies.com/banter. That's MeUndies, MEUNDIES.com/banter.
I love that they're called MeUndies.
My own personal undies are called MeUndies.
I love that it's like pirates
Yeah, you
saying,
get to sound like a pirate.
right? Like, arr, I love MeUndies.
Man, MeUndies are soft.
Arr, boys, before we get started on this here pillaging journey,
Head here.
I've gotta let you boys know, MeUndies is riding up real nice.
Yeah, I don't know if that's pronounced micromodal or micromodal.
Arr.
Either way, I'm partnering to him.
You know I hate Johnny Depp. So guys,
all pirates hate Johnny Depp.
head to MeUndies today and pick up a pair of special edition Celebrate undies. You'll not only get a discount on awesome undies, but you'll be donating to an amazing cause, and that always feels great. And look,
check out MeUndies.com.
God only knows
banter today.
we need to be donating to an amazing cause right now. Right now we're in a zone. We're donating and helping, and us helping each other, speaking of empathy, is a good place to be, and it's the perfect month to do so, even though any month is a good month to do so, but Pride Month especially. Get your MeUndies. Special edition celebrates, and they'll donate that $1 to the Los Angeles LGBT
20%
Center.
off. You're helping people at a discounted rate.
That's right. So just go to MeUndies.com/banter and check out those undies, huh? Very stoked about that. Okay, let's get rid of this groovy groove.
Squarespace is next. Edit point.
Here we go, guys. Let me ask you guys a question.
I want there to be one obnoxiously loud jug band. Too loud in the mix.
Yeah.
Because he put the band together and he has to be loudest.
You know, I love the Country Bear Jamboree, and I feel like when people were listening to jug band music, they heard the and someone was like, that sounds like a bear.
That sounds like a confused bear.
A big old sad, I'm choking bear.
Yeah, like he just ran a marathon. He got there and he didn't know where the finish line was at.
Hey guys, you want to make your next move with Squarespace? You want to make your next move with a beautiful website from Squarespace? You want to make your next move with a beautiful website? How about with a unique domain? How about you want to get a unique domain and create a beautiful website?
That sounds good. It sounds like a mouthful, but it sounds good.
Talking about Squarespace, guys. They've got that beautiful award-winning designer template. It's an all-in-one platform. You don't need to install any patches or upgrade nothing.
They do everything for you, and it's behind the scenes, behind the curtains. Who's the wizard at Squarespace?
Ah! It's 3 a.m. My website exploded!
Steve, I got you. Everything's fine with Squarespace.
No one's up right now to help me with my website!
Hey, Steve, shut up. You gotta shut up because Squarespace is 24/7 support, 365 days a year. We got you. Just make sure you shut up.
That's right. They've got that 24/7 customer service, and it is award-winning. You can call them anytime. 3 in the morning, your website exploded. You can call them right up, and they're going to be there.
They won
for you.
awards for it.
And guess what, guys? They've got a unique domain experience that's fully transparent, simple to set up. You don't got to know nothing about designing websites. And it's flexible for any kind of website. I'm talking creatives. I'm talking people. I'm talking businesses. I'm talking musicians, designers, artists, restaurateurs, entrepreneurs. I'm talking about a piece of balila. I'm talking about a mozzarella. Guys, any kind of website you'd like. So let me say this. Start your free trial today at squarespace.com and enter that offer code BANTER to get 10% off your first purchase. Make that website. If you're thinking about making a website,
make that website.
You gotta make that website. Make your next move with Squarespace, aight?
Good stuff. Good ad reads this week.
Good ad reads.
Good fun ad reads.
I liked the back and forth ad read.
Yeah, we got to do that more.
Let's do it.
I'll always have it up so we could do a back.
I'll always love you. Can we talk really quick about? Well, what are your notes?
Oh, it's something that requires more planning for next.
Yeah,
time,
I think mine has a lot too. But
Okay.
I want to say,
let's just look at each other for a half hour.
Okay.
There's
I do want to say this because I think it's important to address it audibly.
Audibly.com.
Yeah.
It's different.
So, not to get too into and reopening wounds and starting fires again, but there was a little bit of a boo-boo. There was a little bit of a rump on the internet a bit ago between my good pals Rhett and Link and I.
Oh, really?
Over a sketch that was that seemed incredibly similar to Dave and Ross.
Are we doing a drama thing?
No, it's not drama.
I love being on the outside, but also being in the podcast.
Because you can't escape.
I wonder what tweet they're gonna pull from me on Tube Filter.
Well, here's the thing. So if you want to hear the whole story, Rhett and Link have a great podcast called Ear Biscuits. And on their latest episode, they talk about plagiarism, which is a real dirty word, and they're very serious about it.
Plagiarism, if you remind me, that's when the king can sleep with your wife on the first night.
Oh man, I don't know. I don't even know, man. So, plagiarism, of course, is when you write or create something, and then someone takes that and claims it as their own.
Sure.
That would be called plagiarism. So, Rhett and Link, people they put up a sketch. Again, if you want to hear the whole story, listen to their latest episode of Ear Biscuits about plagiarism. They get into the whole ordeal. But I just wanted to address from my podcast to theirs that I super respect Rhett and Link. They're amazing guys. I very much look up to them, and they are kings in the YouTube world that make amazing content. And we got in a little kerfuffle, but it was dealt with in such a civil and adult way that it was
on Twitter.
Yeah, people wanted us to fight.
It was done.
It was so
in a civil adult way on Twitter.
Civil and proper on Twitter. And we had personal emails back and forth to each other too, where we were addressing our sides of the story.
This is my favorite. This is my favorite shit.
That it was
that
there's no drama.
No,
it's just
that it was the most grown up.
It was so grown up.
It was the most interpersonal thing you could possibly do without being face to face with another human.
No,
being.
we were emailing each other
face to
face, computer screen to computer screen.
Yeah.
And it was dude, it was fine. It didn't need to be addressed in person. And in fact, I was dude, I can't wait to give you guys huge hugs at VidCon. And
you traded hugs for lack of drama?
We're gonna trade hugs for lack of drama.
Great.
And drop everything. And there was no issue. It was just the audiences as passionate as they are, and I'm appreciative of it. It called to question the integrity of the similarities between these two sketches that were released, and it was addressed and dealt with, and everything's fine.
Great.
And it's a non-issue, but I just wanted to say that I appreciate Rhett and Link for being super cool about it and being, you know, it could have gone south and it could have been a bad, dumb drama.
Yeah.
And I could have been.
I'll tell you why it doesn't. I'll tell you why it doesn't matter.
Why?
Because YouTube creates a specific URL for every video, which deteriorates after 24 hours.
And it doesn't matter at all.
So it doesn't matter.
Well, I don't know if you've seen Rhett and Link's videos, but they get amazing views.
For about 24 hours or so. There isn't much of an evergreenness.
All I'm saying is
anymore.
I would dream of getting numbers like that on my personal channel.
Sure.
Let
Why don't you
alone
guys do
something
shit
I did on
together,
SourceFed. I've been on their show, and they've
more.
been on our shows and stuff.
Why don't you do Dave and Ross
I think
on their thing? Because the company that owns it doesn't care about it.
Well, people mentioned we should maybe get them on Dynamic Banter, and maybe we could do an Ear Biscuits with them or something.
Whatever.
And
I'm not about to invite myself on somebody else's podcast.
I know that they're Lost fans, and I'd love to have them talk about Lost on the Lost podcast.
Yeah, do it.
But yeah, I just wanted to address it because they addressed it in their podcast, and they said such nice things about me.
Did they?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, that's
and it
cool,
was really
man.
it was really nice. And
Nice.
I just wanted to return that addressing.
Man,
and
shots
say,
fired, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot some more. I'm gonna shoot some more daisies over there and say they're great dudes.
Man, you're really going in on them.
Yeah, I'm gonna dig in hard with these
Can
hugs.
you edit my part out of this podcast? I don't want to be associated with this.
with these voice hugs?
I don't like this.
I'm voice hugging the fuck out of you guys right now.
Their buddy system was good.
Yeah, man.
I
They're
think
just,
I said that
they,
after we
yeah,
saw it. But
they just make really good shit, and I look up to those guys. And
why do you think they need to copy off you so hard? Because right before this podcast, right before we hit record, you were like, "Man, I hate those guys always copying off of me."
man, I hate that I have to say something nice about them on the podcast because they said something nice about me.
Anyway, here
Like
we
if
go.
we had their raw audio, they're like, now we gotta fucking say nice shit about Steve before we go. Steve's a very talented, funny guy, and blah, blah, blah. Well, anyway, I love Rhett and Link. They're great guys, and I'm so glad that this like thing that could have been a big thing was not a big thing, and it was
Yeah.
really a nothing.
Dude, when
thing.
comedians have shit with each other, that's the worst, man.
Yeah, man.
That's
Because
no
it's
good.
like all we're trying to do is just entertain people and make people laugh. And the sad truth of the matter with like plagiarism and the gray area of like jokes and whatever is that like it's everything has been said in
Yeah.
some way or another.
The sad
and
truth of the matter is if you say something that makes someone very happy and then someone says something similar that makes people very happy, you have to say,
And that's a
that was
pizza."
mine first. I made people feel good with my thing
Yeah,
first.
yeah. Mine was the better first thing that made them feel it. My feeling was stronger when they heard me say it first.
Wait a minute, my thing made people feel good, and then a couple months later, your thing made people feel good? Well, now they're both gonna know what that was. There was grossness underneath the surface.
That's too much feeling good for everyone to handle. It should have just been my feeling
I
good.
hope no one feels good anymore about either of the two things that were
Yeah.
funny.
You know what you did? You took away your feel good. You took away my feel good.
And I take away everyone else's.
Yeah, and
this
I don't fuck-
podcast,
yeah.
your podcast.
But yeah, it's just whatever. There's so many things that are like, oh, that's just like that, or that's just like that, or oh man, that tweet. Like I have friends, and I'm not gonna say a thing about who, but I have friends who are like, man, this person, this celebrity stole my tweet. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
And I look.
Is there anything that matters less?
Well, yeah, exactly. Is there anything that matters less?
Yeah.
And also, like when seeing the two tweets, I was just like, like every time someone comes to me and says a bit, and it's happened a lot with different people. A big celebrity stole my tweet, and I see the tweet. It's like this is just one of those things that like brains arrive to.
Yeah.
Like it's just a phrase
If
or a
something is like-
joining of jokes.
Dude, yeah, especially if you're making jokes about things that are happening in pop culture. That's
Yeah.
why there's so many fucking like YouTube shows and Snapchat shows that are just about pop culture things, and everybody makes the same jokes.
Yeah.
Like they're all like,
Yeah.
you know, like late night monologue jokes. It's all like in the ether, and there's
Yeah.
only so many jokes you can make about like a big event that happens every day.
You know how like when you drive in your car and you know the make and model of your car well enough that when you see it, you sometimes see that same make and model and color of your car in the street on the
Everyone's
freeway.
driving my car.
And you're like, oh, that's my car and I'm in it. That's weird. Where am I? Did I die?
Yeah.
No, but I'm just saying like it's exactly like that. As often as you see your exact car on the freeway is how often your Twitter joke has probably been said on Twitter by someone else in this completely overpopulated planet we're destroying.
You know what God damn, I really wish it didn't go to. But I'll tell you what, I had a nice talk with some Comedy Central people recently. I was lucky enough to listen.
Was
to
Rob
them
Fee there?
No, he's a bad friend. So I wouldn't let him in. So they were saying, as a stand-up, if anyone can tell your jokes, you're not there yet. So that's kind of where my whole mind has been for like a little while now. Is they say that as a comedian, and we're all like, us finding our voice and working our shit out as comedians is documented. Like every comedic thought we've had for the past 10 or 11 years is on the internet somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of us are still not where we got to be yet.
You just have to find your voice and find your style and find your mannerisms and just do it over and over again in a mirror and in front of a crowd and in front
Lose
of your
your
friends.
influences.
Yeah, lose your influences. Like, if, for the most part, if someone's like, man, you're just like this comedian, that's not a great thing.
Yeah, but
it's
also
like
you can't be afraid of it if you're just like learning.
Yeah, don't be afraid of it.
Yeah, never steal someone's shit, but like obviously you're going to be an amalgamation.
Yeah, it's okay to like, and this goes back to even the plagiarism thing. Like,
it's okay to plagiarize.
It's
in
okay
school.
to plagiarize. No, it's okay to like be inspired by like 17 fucking comedians or 30 comedians or 2 comedians and love everything they do. But you know, don't just be like another George Carlin or another Louis C.K. Be you that is inspired by George Carlin and Louis C.K. and then fucking mix it up like a good old soup.
Yeah.
Throw in the fucking ingredients and make yourself a real good soup, and that's you soup.
And then come up with funny names for the flavors of the soup.
Yeah. And then paint a penis on a canvas.
Could we also talk about
using a funny name of the soup?
Our new hashtag, which I'm really excited about, called "I would be a bad comedian if."
Oh yeah, we just thought of this when Mike came in to the apartment.
Yeah.
How did we get to that though? It was like,
we're talking about when friends of ours do weird shit on the internet.
Yeah.
And we're not above this at
yeah,
all.
of course not.
We're not excluded
I've
from any
posted
of this.
things that are like
Oopsie
the
daisies.
equivalent of mirror selfie.
Yeah,
or
I
thirst
almost
trap.
did it. Literally, I almost did it this morning.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm wearing too much denim.
Right.
And I was going to post that, but my apartment was too messy and I couldn't do it. But same thing. So we're not above any of this.
Right.
But when you see your friends do it, and you're a comedian, you make your living as a comedian, I want to start tweeting, I would be a bad comedian if I didn't say.
And then you make fun of your friend.
Right, you roast the picture.
It's basically making fun of your friend, Will Haynes, for posting things that are ridiculous on their Instagram.
Yeah, he's one of them, but no one's above it.
No one's above it. Will Haynes is
especially Will Haynes, but no one is above it. I'm
like,
gonna go
I
through
have
my feed
like,
right now.
Like I have photos of Will on a motorcycle that aren't jokes. That he posted on his Instagram that might be gone now.
Will knows how to start a motorcycle.
And I think me and Lee and Joe and Elliot roasted Will for a full month.
Is that true?
But to his face, and
well,
like
good.
in like a text thread.
Yeah.
About how ridiculous that picture was. But like I would expect the same thing from my friends, and I've gotten it from my friends as well. And that's kind of
you're friends with me.
Like basically when we reminisce about the good old days of SourceFed, it's basically like 50% that 50% being roasted by every single funny person you know in one room.
Yeah.
And then 50% like work.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. If you're a comedian and you're dedicating time and energy, that's hilarious. Time and energy into roasting a friend of yours, that means that you care about them.
Yeah.
If you're not saying anything to that person, they're not in your thoughts.
It's like when you guys did that roast, when Bree put that roast
that
together
was the
for me.
fucking
I'd never
best
felt,
thing.
dude, it was like, I will never get over how amazing that was.
It was so hard to be mean to you.
Dude, I appreciate that, and I think it's funny.
That day.
Because it was your birthday. That's a
You
pizza.
stole my joke.
That's a pizza.
Never steal my joke ever again.
We did it at the same time, so I don't think it was stealing. It was more like we just I saw your car on the freeway. Like I saw you on the freeway and you looked just like me.
Can I tell you about this one time?
Wait, I'm not done.
Oh,
okay,
I'm
no,
sorry.
I'm done.
No, what was your...
Well, I was just gonna say, like, I've never felt more loved. Like, I really have never felt more loved than when all of my friends
were making fun of me as hard as
they all gathered into a big room, like a stage, like a real life honor,
Sponsored
like
by Brie-S, right?
like an honored show.
Yeah.
With like my closest friends who I love very much, all like just for me. Like it was. I've never felt so much love. I really haven't.
That was the best. I love
it was
her
amazing.
saying we're gonna sneak you into the back of a play.
Dude,
like that
she
was
got
acceptable.
me so good. She got me
Like,
so
okay, yeah, we'll just go into
fucking
the back.
Dude, I just
We'll go in through the stage.
like I'd like to think I do nice things for Brie, and I've given her some cool gifts and taken her to cool things, but I will never top that.
No,
Like,
well,
I
it's
will
nice of you to limit yourself like that in the future.
God, it's just I can't. I can't.
You should
get
break
over it.
up.
Like,
Because that's not fair to her to still be dating you if you're never even going to try to do better than
you know
that.
what? We should break up because I'll never be able to make you feel the way you made me feel on my birthday when
And then you
did
panic
the
and you start
roast.
making fun of her.
Your shoes are dumb.
I hate you. I mean,
You get a haircut.
this is what you made me feel love.
Okay, what were you gonna say? And then we got to do our history road.
I don't fucking remember. Man.
Okay, guys, let's do. Hey, you know what,
What?
Mike?
What?
I've got an idea.
Oh, happy 50 episodes, by the way.
Oh no, is today our 50th?
Yeah.
It's our 50th.
Yeah, this is the extravaganza.
This is a big deal. Welcome to our 50th episode.
50th.
50th. 50th. 50th road. This is our welcome to 50th road.
We are now fully qualified to make a map.
Dude, what is the 50th road
That should be
in the United States?
That's Main Street Putney. Dude, that should be an infographic poster.
Oh, that's a fun idea.
Somebody should take the history roads, all the first 50, and make it into a map.
Dude, I love that. That's
Yeah.
so good.
I'm very creative.
Dude, yeah, someone do that. I typed in.
I hope no one steals that idea.
Even though we asked them to.
Please. Please, Steve.
Yeah, there's a difference between like us never doing it ourselves
Yeah.
and then someone else doing it.
I would do it. I'll do it right now.
I typed in what's the 50th road in the United States, and I got U.S. Route 50.
Oh, God.
And I'm not gonna.
Boring.
Yeah, okay.
Way to go, Lewis and Clark.
This history road comes from Minecraft Redneck 673 at gmail.com.
Coming to visit.
That's his email address I just put on the
His
podcast.
Minecraft. And it burned.
No. The subject is Hit Street Toad.
Spell that.
HITSTREET space TOAD.
Okay. Okay. Now I got
Hit
it.
Street Toad. He says, hello, Mike and Steve, or Steve and Mike, whichever you prefer. My name's Hunter Lewis. I'm a 16-year-old born baby boy from Elizabethton, Tennessee.
You've given out all of this personal information.
My home address is...
If you feel like opening a credit card,
By the
my
way,
social security number
Hunter Lewis sounds like a historical figure.
Yes, it does. Like he'll
be
something
remembered.
important from happening.
Yeah. And then came the old tale of Hunter Lewis.
John Henry's best friend.
I've never written a short story, but I will try and do so in a moment. For the meantime, I'll play some holding music. Music. I like bread. It's about the best thing that I've ever had. Music over.
Plagiarized.
Also, sorry about SourceFed and Nerd and all that. Been watching since Mike did it. Give a shit about Steve shooting up in a parking lot. Now onto History Road Toad. P.S. I don't know how to write a story or type it out, but I'll try.
There's a lot of pages before the first page of this book.
Jeffrey awoke. He turned to the left side of his bed and immediately saw the alarm clock that he's seen every day. He's awoken since childhood. Today's the day, said Jeffrey. The day I learned. Jeffrey immediately sprang out of bed and slapped in his sloppiest pair of slacks, taking time to caress each button on his button-up shirt. His mother called for him. Jeffrey! There's no punctuation in this story, by the way, so I'm doing my best. His mother yelled, "Come and get your hot garbage!" Hot garbage being a code word his mother coined for Jeffrey's favorite breakfast, which consisted of 2 Jonathan Dongle sandwiches, creamy peanut butter on toast, a very quiet snack indeed, and a lukewarm glass of freshly pumped breast milk right from the maid's teat. Jeffrey immediately ran down the stairs and licked and gobbled his meal down, plate and all. Okay, he ate the plate. Jeffrey then started to leave, but before he reached the door, his mother turned to him and said, "Grab a grab full of grab on your way home, sweetie." "Will do, Ma," Jeffrey replied. Jeffrey drunkenly exited the house. You
say will do, Maz?
Will do, Ma. Jeffrey replied. Jeffrey drunkenly exited the house. You see, he guzzled a pint of gun right before he left as a pick-me-up. A pint of gun. He turned down the dirt road he has walked down every day since birth. Jeffrey was an incredible boy. He had been able to walk down a dirt road by the time he just fell out of his mother's slimy vag. But that's neither here nor there. Jeffrey kept walking, and as he walked, he saw a small toad on the ground. He knelt down to the toad. He knelt down to the road and asked, "Are you my dad?" "No," said the toad. "Bummer," said Jeffrey. "But I do know where he is," said the toad. "Really? Where?" said Jeffrey. "Well, right down that historic road," said the toad. "Oh boy," said Jeffrey. "But be warned," said the toad. "There are mighty beasts along that road who will try to stop you." "I'll be right," Jeffrey said. "I'll be right." "KLOL," said the toad. So Jeffrey ventured down the history road, and after a certain point, Jeffrey had begun to notice that road had become extremely moist. Wet, as some would say. He then noticed that he hadn't been walking on a road for a while at all. No, he had been walking along the scascophagus of a even larger toad. The fuck is a scascophagus?
Scascophagus is the upper part of your throat.
An even larger toad than before, one large enough to devour a whole human being. The toad then swallowed Jeffrey, killing him instantly. He died. He never learned, said the narrator. Jeffrey woke up and looked at his alarm clock. "Today's the day I learn," he said. That's the end of my story. I hope either of you enjoyed it. Maybe a little. This is so the first thing I've ever wrote, never even wrote a word or two before, so take that into account. Love you guys, and thank you for everything you guys do that makes us humans laugh. I really enjoy it, so please don't stop. If you do, I'm taking that E-Teen address. I'll make her mine in that day. Mark my words. Love, Hunter Lewis at _Scrapsmith on Instagram. Penis!
Thank you, Hunter Lewis.
That's it!
Your homework for next time, Hunter Lewis, is punctuation.
Yes, please, periods. Use
They're
some
so
periods.
important.
Periods and commas. God, there's so much.
Just put them in wherever.
You're 16, dude.
Doesn't matter. All right? Sprinkle some periods.
Just paste some
Have
periods.
a period party.
Just period it up.
Go to a reputable website, copy periods, and paste them in your own stories.
All right, well, guys, thank you very much for listening to Dynamic Banter. Mike, it really is our 50th episode. Nice work, man. We did it.
We did it. I'm having a great time.
Me
I love this
too.
show.
Me too. You got any gigs coming up you want to plug?
Yeah, totally. I'm playing tonight, and that doesn't matter. And then I'm playing the night this comes out, Sycamore Tavern in West Hollywood.
Cool, man. Well, I hope people will make it. They'll have a day to get out there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
really cool, man. So, well, thank you guys for listening. If you want to send in your history roads, you can do so by sending them to dynamicbanter@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm. Oh, if you're in the San Diego area, I think June 8th, I'm playing the Comedy
That's
Palace.
the day before my birthday.
It's the day of my dad's birthday.
Whoa.
What?
Your dad's a Gemini.
My dad is my dad, and I'll thank you. Not also June 2nd, I'll be at a Flappers Comedy Club in Burbank, next to that woman waiting to go to the airport.
Do you ever look at your dad and say, what a pizza pie I do feel about him in
I
the
say,
mood?
hey, look at this pizza shit. Right? And then he says, don't swear. And I said, I don't even know why I said that. I'm sorry. I love you, Pop Pop.
Guys, we have an Instagram account too. Go to Instagram and type in Dynamic Banter and go ahead and follow our account. And also tag your History Road or Dynamic Banter or Cloverfield or Mike or Steve related things using the tag Dynamic Banter. And we will repost all your guys' stuff. And we're reposting fan stuff on that their Instagram account. And also we will stream from that account sometimes when we remember to.
Sometimes.
And you can watch us record live.
Thank you to MeUndies, and thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this episode. Thank you so much for... There's a horn. And thank you so much for listening to it.
Thanks a lot, guys, and we'll catch you next time on Dynamic Banter.
That was a HeadGum podcast.